Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at the next gen Rev Lite 2, which is a Hans device. So right now I'm just doing a little unboxing showing you guys what's going on. But the reason I invested in the Hans is to make sure that my neck, my spine is fully protected on the racetrack. This is applied hardware given. Right now we're looking at the tethers. So I have the Snail Bandit helmet and it already comes pre-drilled ready for a Hans device. So we're going to be removing this little tab. Some helmets you will have to drill yourself, some helmets you'll have to use the backing plate provided by Next Gen. Luckily my helmet is able to just go ahead and screw right in. You're going to want to make sure that these bases for the tethers are at a 45-degree angle from the base of your helmet. I actually installed it backwards the first time and had to reinstall it, so you definitely want to make sure it's installed the right way. As you can see, here's a little testing. But the reason for being a Hans, like I said before, is to make sure I am safe, not allowing my neck to compress more than it needs to. All instructions are included in the manual provided by Next Gen. It's a simple step-by-step installation. It should take you no time at all.
Okay, now that you guys know how to install your Hans device onto your helmet, whether that's pre-drilling it, or it's already pre-drilled, you got to drill new holes, stuff like that. Your Hans device is now equipped to your helmet and you can move on to your next step. So for this instance, I drive a 2014 Subaru WRX. Doesn't really matter what car you drive as long as you have harnesses. Now this Hans device that we are using is capable of using the 3-inch harnesses, which I have, or the 2-inch, and I believe there might be even 1-inch. So any harness that you have will work with this Hans device. First and foremost, use a 5 or 6 point, do not use a 4-point harness. For this instance, what I have for me are 91 and up harnesses, which are basically modeled after the Sparkos. My passenger on the other side has G-force harnesses, but we're gonna go ahead and use the passenger or the driver's side because that's mainly where the driving is gonna happen. So there's two ways that you can put the harness on. First way is just leaving it connected to your helmet, sliding it up and over, which is kind of hard to do in the car, but it is doable. It would probably be best not to wear a hood like I am right now, but go ahead and buckle. Now, personal preference, do whatever you want to do to buckle in. I do my lap first. So there's the side belt, here's the crotch belt, left belt, right belt, and now you're going to want, there's little tabs and grooves that you can feel. So you're going to want to make sure your belts are threaded through them, which mine are. So I'll go ahead and connect the right side belt. Connect the left side belt and go ahead and tighten all the way down. You want to make sure these are very snug. If they're loose, it's not really going to make the Hans work to its full potential. So now that my head is connected to the Hans device, say we were to get into a sudden braking obstacle or hit something, my head is going that far forward. Now there are tethers on the back that you can adjust. I still have to hone mine in, but for the most part I think this is the right length. My head has some movement, but it's not going to be decapitating and not wanting to drive through. Now if I disconnected these, for instance, right, and say the same thing happened, we're going in for a crash. See how your neck just snaps and whiplashes? That's no bueno. So you want to make sure with your Hans device it's properly distanced and all that. So then just find your tabs. I have not muscle memory this because I just got this, so it is a little harder for me to figure out where my tabs are. That's something I'm going to want to practice, because if I do, say, get into an accident, something like that, I'm going to want to be able to grab my tabs fast enough, the quick releases, to get out of the car. So see, this is the second way you can put it on, is you get in with your helmet on and your Hans off. Put your Hans on, put your belts on, and then connect. I think that's just a little harder because my muscle memory is not as good. So leaving the Hans connected to the helmet is much easier. But as you can see, I'm pushing as far as I can, and my neck will not go any farther. So there definitely is play. As far as I can turn my head. I mean, with halos it doesn't really matter. So my head's protected side to side, my head is not protected forward and back. The reason you want to get a Hans device is basically you're saving your neck, you're saving your spine. Many people who don't run them, I was very, let me take this off. I was very, God, see, these take a little force to pull, so you're going to want to make sure. There you go. I was very naive and didn't think I needed one for the longest time, and then finally it took one time going off track to make me want to buy a Hans. So here's the little quick tabs, and then your points go in right here. So I mean, let's pretend like the second way I said, you're already strapped in. Here's your harnesses. You want to put your helmet on. There you go. And I'm going to be practicing this a lot because I need to get better at putting the straps in myself. But I could see this being another method if you don't want to have to, or you don't want to carry your Hans around. But there's so many Hans devices out there on the market. That was better that time. There's ones that have the collarbones that come down even farther, so they're more like, they sit more into your chest. That could really hurt your collarbone depending on which ones you get. There's also ones that have a huge high top. This one does not have a high top for the back of your neck for like backwards movement. But yeah, so say your harnesses weren't tight enough, you would have the issue of, I don't know if you can really see on that camera or my GoPro, I'm pushing forward and the Hans device is actually sliding with me. So see how my body is still being able to crumple forward through the weight? That's not what you want to have happen. That's why your harnesses need to be as tight as they be. I can actually tighten probably down my fifth point a little more to be pulling more downwards. Now that I have this, because I'm really going to be strapping in tight. So like, there you go. And then fully tight. It's there's no movement on my shoulders, it's just my head and my neck. So definitely look into investing in a Hans device. The prices vary. I think mainly you're looking around $500 to $1,000, but that price tag for saving your life, saving your back, saving your neck is well worth it. Yeah, I'll give you guys another look at the Hans. Here it is, next gen. So like I said, you can either pull down on the tabs, which fully releases, and then you have your Hans device. So this is the tether, like I said in the installation video, how you can adjust and make it shorter, but that's basically all I have. I'm not a guru or expert on Hans devices, but it definitely is needed, and it just makes you know you're more safe on track, and if anything happens, God forbid, you're going to be saving your neck. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you have any more questions down below, feel free. If you want to Google search, there's tons of information about halos. Sonoma Raceway has plenty to try on. If you're in California, you can go there and try on different halos. Sorry, not different halos, different Hans devices. You can definitely try them on. They also have different seats you can try on. But for instance, I don't think I told you guys yet, this is a size large. Next Gen has sizing charts on their website, but you want to get a size that fits either small, medium, large. You definitely want to make sure you get the right size that fits you, because if you don't have a right one, for instance, I bought this off Rodell. He's actually a medium. It sat a little, because I have broader shoulders than him. These were sitting kind of almost over his shoulders. And you also want to measure your neck, make sure there's enough space in between. If you get too small, you're going to be pinching your neck. So for as tiny of a thing this is, it definitely has a lot of time to set up. You want to make sure you get it right. And yeah, I mean, I waited too long for one of these, but now I have one. Now I'm all set. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Take care.